Okay, and we're going to talk about Unit 12 in your book, which begins on page 327. If you want to look at the table of contents, uh, it's a really short unit. There are only 4 lessons, and I have a feeling you're going to do pretty well on this one. It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy, easier than most of the things that we've done so far. So let me give you a quick rundown, and then we'll get into specifics. It starts with let's. So you've heard people say let's before, probably. Let's means us, let us do something. So if I have an idea, and if you like the idea too, then maybe we will implement or we will do my idea. So, for example, if I'm hungry and I want to know if you're hungry, I might say, of course, are you hungry? And you say yes. Oh, I'm hungry too. Let's eat. Let's eat. That's what let's is. The next one is would like. Would like. Would like is a very polite way of saying that you want something. Okay. So if I go to a restaurant, I could, of course, say, I want a hamburger. Okay, but it doesn't sound as nice as I would like. I would like a hamburger. And of course, the question, of course, if I want to know if you want a hamburger, I can say, do you want a hamburger? Or do you want a glass of water? But I can make that more polite by saying, would you like a glass of water? Would you like a hamburger? Okay, so that's would like. The next one is could you and would you? Could you and would you? Could you and would you are interchangeable. And what I mean by that is you can say could you can say would you. They are equally polite and they mean the same thing. We use these for polite requests. So if you want someone to do something and you don't want to sound rude, you can say could you or you can say would you. Always followed by the base verb. So uh, if you need help with something, maybe you need my help. Could you help me with my homework, or could you help me with this problem? Could you help me with this question? If you don't want to use could you can use the twin brother would you. Would you help me with this brother? Or with this brother, with this problem? Would you open the door for me? Would you, could you? They mean the same thing. And the last one is the imperative. Really, all this is somebody telling someone else what to do using base verbs. If you are a parent, if you have children, you use imperatives every single day. Go to your room. Don't cry. Stop fighting. Eat your dinner. Go to bed. Wake up. Get out of bed. Take a shower. Base verb, base verb, base verb. So it's really when you're telling someone what to do. So the positive is just the base verb. If it's negative, it's just don't plus the base verb. Don't smoke, right? Or don't cheat on the test, or don't drink and drive. Okay. So that's a quick overview. Hopefully you can see this is going to be kind of easy. So the first part, 12a, which in your book begins on page 328, it's just let's. And just to remind you, because you may have forgotten, let's, let me make that bigger. Let's means let us. Now, you will very, very, very rarely hear people say let us. And I think there's a reason for that. We have a vegetable that sounds just like lettuce, but it's called lettuce, right? Which looks just like this. So I think people don't usually say "let us eat dinner" because it sounds like the vegetable. So instead, 99% of the time we use the contractions. We just use let's, okay? And it's followed by the base verb. Oops, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's is followed by the base verb. So go. Go is a base verb. Let's go home. I want to go home. Maybe you want to go home. Let's go home. Okay. Here's a child that is hungry. He wants to eat. Maybe he wants to know if you're hungry. Maybe he wants you to eat as well. Hey, together, let's eat. that idea of together is really part uh, of the idea when we use let's. Okay. All right. I like this. I hope you understand this. It says never give up. Give up means to quit, to stop doing something, to stop trying. Never back down. Okay. So keep on fighting until you get what you want. Never mind. Never mind. Ah, forget what I just said. Never mind. Let's watch TV. Let's watch TV. Okay, we will give up. We will back down because, something interesting is on TV. So I have an idea. I want to watch TV. Maybe you want to watch TV. Let's watch TV together. Okay, the next part is would like, would like. So again, it's just as I said before. Let's see, where can I type? Um, would like, I'll make that bigger. There it is. Would like means want, to want something. Okay, so I might say I would like a cup of coffee. Okay, sounds so much more polite than I want a cup of coffee. Okay, if you come to my house, I might say, would you like something to drink? Okay, sounds so much better than do you want something to drink? Okay, so that's all that is. Um, hopefully that's not too difficult, right? So you can imagine in a restaurant, right? This woman is probably saying she was looking at the menu and she said, "I would like the chicken casserole." I don't know, okay, or I would like the steak and potatoes. Okay, over here. Okay, so just another picture I found thanks to Uncle Google, right? It says, "Would you like some?" Right? So uh, this person is asking his guests, would you like some pizza, right? Yes, please. Again, it means do you want? Okay. All right, and then one more thing to go over. Let me make this a little bit bigger. And this one. Okay. So if I want someone to do something for me, so here's a man with a stack of books, and here's a woman without a stack of books. It's hard for him to open the door. It would be easy for her to open the door. So he says, could you open the door, please? Now, if you cover up, could you, if you just say, open the door, you sound rude and she might kick you, right? But if you say something like, could you, and especially if you add a word like please, you sound like a very nice person. If you don't want to use could you, it's a free country, we can use would you. Would you open the door, please? Okay, both are fine. Okay, here's a tourist, someone who's visiting a place that's not his home, and he's got a map. Of course, we don't use maps anymore. We just use our smartphones. At least that's how I am. I can't even remember the last time I held a map. But he says, "Could you help me, please?" Now, if he doesn't want to say "could you," again, he could say "would you." Do you notice we've got the base verb here, help, and up here, of course, could you open the door? It's the base verb. I forgot to say that. Okay, so that's much better than help me, please, or help me. Okay. Another explanation right here that I found on the internet. Okay, so it says you use could and would to make formal requests. So formal is like polite. Ask someone to do something. Could and would soften requests. They don't make them so strong, and you don't want to sound. Do you know this word? Where is it? Do you know this word? Bossy. Make that bigger. There we go. Bossy, of course, you know the word boss. If you work for somebody, he's the boss, right? But you don't want to sound bossy, and if you just say open the door, please, or open the door, or help me, you sound very, very bossy. Okay. um, so here's a teacher with a student, I think, or maybe that's a mother and a daughter. And I think it's probably a teacher because she's talking about school, unless they homeschool. She says, could you work on exercise 4? Could you work on exercise 4? Now, a teacher might not want to be so polite because, the student might say, no, that's too hard. I would rather take a nap. Okay, so she might want to use the imperative, which we're about to talk about. She might just say, work on exercise 4 now, or I'll call your parents. Okay, but yeah, again, I like how it says it here, right? Could and would soften the request. They make them softer. They make them gentler. They make them sound nicer. Okay. All right, and then the last thing that we're learning about in this chapter is the imperatives. So I found this on Google. I think this is nice. It says driving safely. By the way, it says safely. That's the adverb that describes the word driving. It's how you can drive or how you should drive. You should drive safely. So the woman says, slow down, please. Slow down, please. I'm nervous. Okay. She's not saying, could you slow down, please? She's being very direct. Slow down, please. And the driver says, relax. Relax. I'm a good driver. Rest. Relax. And she says, watch out for that bicycle. What does watch out? Be careful. Watch out. Don't hit the guy riding his bicycle. And he says, here's the negative. Don't, base verb, worry. Don't worry. Listen to the music. So she's telling him what to do. He's telling her what to do. She's telling him what to do. He's telling her what to do. Then she says, there's a red light. Stop. So this is only one word. She's talking to this man. The implication when she's talking to him, she thinks she's talking to you, not you, but to that guy, right? So the implied subject is you, but we just use the verb in these imperatives. So stop. You stop. But we don't say you stop. We just say stop. And he says, close your eyes. I'm driving this cab. Today it'd be an Uber, right? And she says, turn right. No. Turn left. No. Right. Okay, so base verb, base verb. Okay, here we are. Next time, please take a bus. Base verb again. All right, so those are all imperatives. Over here, these are all imperatives for school. I'll get a little bit closer because it's hard for me to read. Um, when you first learned English, you probably heard a lot of imperatives. Sit down is one, right? Now, if we wanted to be polite, we could say, could you please sit down? Or could you sit down? Or would you sit down? Or listen. Could you listen? That makes it much more polite. But sometimes you don't want to be too polite because people will disrespect you. Okay, read the text. Read the text. The text is not a text message, by the way. It's what is in a magazine or in a book. Okay, in an article. Put up your hands. Put up your hands. The other way that we say that, by the way, I don't usually say put up your hands. I say raise your hand. Raise your hands if I'm talking to a class. Okay. Open your books. Close your books. Look at the board. Take a pencil, or you might usually say, get out a pencil. Right? Get it out of your bag, your purse, your backpack. Write your name. There's another base verb. Write your name. Teachers love to say this. Be quiet. Be quiet. Stop talking. Be quiet. Okay, so hopefully this will help you as you do the different activities in Unit 12. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you learned something. And I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Be good.